Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Gary. Hope you've all had a good Christmas. Hope you all had a good holiday. I'm going to have to apologise for being late on tonight because, believe it or not, I've just literally been talking to myself for 5-10 minutes because I thought I was live. So you just have to completely forgive me there. Hope everyone's great. I'll get onto the chat in a second. First off, channel members, I need you to speak to me because the quiz that I have promised is now ready to go. I just need a time and a date. I was going to do it tomorrow night, but I think a couple of people aren't free for that. So let me know if you're available. If you're not a channel member, consider joining. Yeah, and join that. Charlie, honestly, mate, I've just been talking to myself for 10 minutes. I can't believe it. There's a new format on YouTube when you go live now, and I thought I'd press live, and I'm thinking, what on earth is going off here? But anyway, hope you've all had a great Christmas and a happy New Year. So yeah, FIFA World Cup. Yeah, it's 2026. It is now 2026. Tonight's chat is, will 2026 be a good year for England? Darius has put yes under Thomas Tuchel. It will be a special year for England regardless of whether we win the final in July. Great things to happen. Can't wait till the summer. Get this season over with. I'd consider Reece James as the number 6. He's been phenomenal for Chelsea. I mean, a couple of things I want to talk about is players who have impressed over the Christmas period, what England's chances are for this year, and of course, the quiz. I want to talk about the quiz. Sorry, I'm really fussed because I've literally just been talking to myself for 10-15 minutes. Oh my God, what a start to the new year, everyone. But welcome back. First off, I want to say thank you to everybody over December because it has been by far one of my most successful months. I've had plenty of new subscribers. It's just been great. The videos have done really, really well. So thank you all so much for your support. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, or if you are new here tonight and you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing because anyone's welcome. Absolutely everybody's welcome. I know, first off, I just want to say apologies for over Christmas. I thought, you know what, I was off. And there was a couple of Sundays when I realised I had stuff in the diary, and I just thought, you know what? Rather than me struggling trying to get it out, I had a couple of weeks off work, and I thought I need the rest. I'm not going to do absolutely anything. So apologies, I've had 2 or 3 weeks off where I've not been putting videos out over Christmas. But I am back now. I just needed that break where I had nothing on. Well, I say I had nothing on. I had loads of things on in my life that then meant juggling everything else was too difficult as well. But I just thought, you know what? Give myself this 2-3 weeks, no YouTube, and then hit the ground running in January. But yes, for my channel members, I promise the quiz is ready. The quiz is ready. I mean, I can do it tomorrow night. I can do it Tuesday. Go to my community page. I have put a post on there just for channel members to speak to me about when they're available. I want to get as many. I think I've got about 9 members now. I'll go over those actually. Josh Filk, Kurt Barlow, Ricky Grimshaw, 3 of the members. Just wait for it to come back round. Let me wait to see. Give all my channel members a good shout out here. So in the squad, of course, is who's impressed over the Christmas period, and do we genuinely think this is England's year? One thing I'm going to get up as well, as you were watching, or you may or may not have been watching before the Christmas period. Am I really? I don't know why it's saying my connection's good. Tell you what, let me pause. Let me take some things down if I'm buffering. Have a look. Yeah, I don't know why I'm buffering. I think it's something to do, you know, with... let me pause this, because I don't need that running. Let me take that off. Let me know how the stream is, guys. Got so much I need to show you to talk about as well. Let me know what it's like now. Oh, I think it's right. I think it's saying it's good. Right. So let me just get talking anyway while I think I've got good traction on the go here. So I usually do a little player reveal each week or a player quiz each week where you have to guess who the player is. So let me load that up there. So I think this is a difficult one. I do think this is a real difficult one. And I wanted to start with that. I've left his number on. For a reason, because if you know your stuff, you might be able to guess who this is. If not, though, this is going to be difficult. And I struggle to understand. I'm thinking of my generation. I'm thinking you'll have definitely heard of this player if you're from my generation. But will you have heard of him before? He's yeah. Let's see. Let's see how you get on. But I think this is a tough one. So let me know in the comments who you think that is. It looks like my stream sorted itself out now, so I'll keep talking. Where I was at as well. So for channel members, the quiz is ready to go. So let me know time, place, date. I was going to do it tomorrow evening. I can still do it tomorrow evening. Just go onto the post after this or before, whatever, and give me your thoughts. If you're not a channel member and you want to be a part of the quiz, join as soon as possible, so then you can be involved. I did do it for everyone last year, but there's a limit in terms of how many people I can have on those quizzes. And I thought rather than avoiding that rather than dealing with that situation if it arises and I had loads of people on that I couldn't accommodate, I thought, you know what, let's just do it for channel members. I think some players' form has dropped. Rodgers, Foden, Bellingham haven't been playing well. Palmer seems miles off it. Sort of. I mean, it's brilliant, Charlie. Brilliant. I'll have a look after this, mate. Nick Barmby, good guess. Really good guess. I'm not going to say if it's right or wrong, but good guess. I think it's good, finally, that there's some competition for Harry Kane. It looks like Ollie Watkins is pushing him. Teddy Sheringham, another good guess. You're all, I mean, obviously by the kit, you're all starting to come in that same ballpark figure, so keep them coming in. It is a tough one this week. I'm not saying if I've heard the name right or not yet, but yeah, good one. Some good guesses coming in. I like it. I really like it. 2026, look, it's a make or break. Yeah, I was saying before, well, I was talking to myself earlier that I didn't realise, but I was saying before I came on that Tuchel could be within his last 6-7 months now as England manager. He was only supposed to be here until the World Cup. Is that happening? Is that right? Is he staying? Is he going? It could be over. Could be over before we know it. The World Cup seems like it's a long way away, but in reality, it's going to be here before we know it. David Batty, another good guess. Cole Palmer's gone right off the boil. That injury's still affecting him, I guess. Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, Cole Palmer really needs to be fit. The one player I do really, really want to talk about, though, is Madueke. And I know for Arsenal in particular, he's not scoring and assisting. He isn't. The numbers aren't reflecting. But certainly for England, they do. And I love him. I think he's our left mid. I know he's not a left midfielder technically, but you ain't taking Saka off right. But I think Madueke is class. And I'd love to see him. Chris Bayliss is also saying David. I'm pausing because I'm trying to think here. I think my OBS is just disconnected. Am I back on? I think my OBS disconnected. I'm back on now. I don't know what's going off tonight, guys. Sorry, something's wrong with my internet. I don't know if it's something to do with the weather. Literally where I am, it's so cold, and I don't know what's going on. But anyway, Uruguay and Japan are really uninspiring. I think they're really inspiring friends. And I go back to looking at who Thomas Tuchel's had up until this point in terms of a challenge for England and what we've then potentially got heading into this World Cup. And I mean, really, Uruguay and Japan. And I heard as well at the time, Henry Winter was tweeting about it at the time, that Argentina were looking at, they needed a friendly and they were open to it and stuff like that. And I don't know how true this was and stuff like that. But obviously this Uruguay and Japan sides were determined before the draw, and it was just a matter of time of deciding whether we actually drew them or not in the group stage, whether they would actually be going ahead as friendlies. But I'm just so uninspired by Uruguay and Japan. Yeah, but paying millions. If money's surely not an issue for England. No, maybe it is, Charlie. In March, England will face Uruguay and Japan. Yeah. I know they are the games. I just don't know if they've officially announced them yet. But I think they have. But it's just, to me, they're not. Are they good enough? Considering who Thomas Tuchel's had to face up to this point, are they really the tests that we want before the World Cup? Yeah, I mean, the problem is, particularly teams from Asia and Africa, and I see it in my preview videos. And by the way, check out my preview videos and stuff like that I put on. But it's very hard, isn't it, to judge these teams when they're coming from Asia and Africa, because they don't play anybody. Well, they don't play anybody certainly from Europe or from South America that we would put as a potential contender for the tournament. So when you're seeing teams or nations say, Morocco are good or Japan are good, and it's well, are they? Are they good teams? It's really difficult for us to judge that. Yeah, France played Brazil in March. I mean, why not Brazil again? I know we did have Brazil quite recently, but why not them again? It's a World Cup year. It's just, I don't know. It just doesn't scream anything to me. I mean, it's sort of two things. One, if we perform badly, it's a bit like, oh, fucking hell, writing's on the wall here. We're going to have a disastrous World Cup. And then on the other hand, we could just rock up and beat them both 4-5-0. And I don't know. I know, but Brazil had a really poor qualification campaign, didn't they? Really poor. I mean, I think they lost 5 games. Yeah, I mean, France, it seems like England will be the only team in terms of one of these favourites. Let's put in the top 5 favourites for the World Cup. England will be the only team going to the World Cup who hasn't really played any team probably in the top 10 in the past 12 to 18 months, whereas everyone else will have done. And it just left me feeling a little bit uninspired. I mean, when I first heard that these were being rumoured before the draw and stuff like that, I thought, fair enough. But the more I think about it, I think, no, we should have done better here. Yeah, well, there's that as well, Chris. But this goes back to the problem that these were the two teams that were decided before the World Cup draw was even made. So it was just a matter of fact that, as long as we didn't draw them in the World Cup, they were going to be our friendlies. Yeah, I mean, no, they're much better games, Darius. I don't know. All I'm seeing now on my chat, I mean, chat's coming up big here in terms of just demonstrating other nations going out there and finding better friendlies. And we've just, I don't know, it seems like, yeah, we don't play them that often. And yes, they are international teams. They're not from Europe, but it just leaves me feeling a little bit uninspired, really. Yeah, Germany would have been. I mean, I'd have taken a good European nation, because let's be honest, they're the teams who we're going to be facing later on in this World Cup. A good European. If not them, it should have been like a Brazil, an Argentina. I don't know. I don't know. Just one of those where I just wanted to float that one out there and get everyone else's opinion on this, because, yeah, I was just left a little bit uninspired. You got 2 minutes, everybody, to submit your thoughts on the player in the box. Who is it? I'd have liked to face France again. Yeah, I'd have liked France. Portugal would have been a good one. We haven't played them in an awful long time, and I think they're a really solid team. Yeah, I mean, USA, I can't weigh them up. Do you think it will matter if England are in good form in June in the group? Hard to say. the thing is, right, is everyone's going on about Ghana and stuff. I mean, Ghana aren't even in the African Cup of Nations, are they? They didn't even qualify for it. So Ghana, on the face of it, they don't look half decent at all, do they? Um, I'm just pausing because I can see it's coming out at 8 o'clock. So Andrew's saying Batty. Those who have said David Batty, because it is now 8 o'clock, I can reveal you were 100% accurate. Couldn't stand him when I was watching England when I was younger. Absolute vanilla of a player. We should walk the group, Andrew. We should absolutely walk the group. I don't think I would, Arthur, because I think they'd beat us again, mate. Yeah, I mean, even play a host. Even play a host would I've been happy with that. But anyone got David Batty this evening? Well done. Fair play. Fair play. Listen, you're not understanding. England will not play first 11 players until World Cup. What is the point of playing a top team? But I think they will. I think they will at three lines. Like I genuinely think they will. I can't remember many friendly games where England tend to play a B team. I guarantee you now Kane will start both of those games. For an example, I'm not saying we'll play our full strength team, but I mean, what ends up happening in friendlies, to be honest with you, in friendly squads, is that people pull out. Whether people will pull out that close to the World Cup, I don't know. But I think England will still play one of the strongest starting 11s at both of those games because we always do. And I go back to the fact that this is only going to be the fifth camp for Thomas Tuchel. I mean, players like Liam Palmer, for example, and there's some other players that I can't even think of off the top of my head, but there's a lot of players he's not even been able to see because they've not been fit. I think Kane will start both of them. I genuinely think he will. I genuinely think Kane will start both games. But then what you're saying, France is B team. France wouldn't play a B team, so we can play. So we can lose our B team. So we can lose with our B team to France. So you're telling me France would play their senior team and we would play our B team? Is that what you're saying? Did you watch the darts yesterday, Gary? I did, mate. He's just unbelievable, isn't he? I wonder what our pre-tournament games in Miami will be. I mean, they're the ones where you think... I meant Cole Palmer, bloody Liam Palmer. But yeah, I was thinking about those games as well. And that's an opportunity for us to... You know, who else is there? You want to be playing someone a little bit better, I think, than those. But I think England will play their starting 11. I guarantee you now Kane will start both of those games. Guarantee you. Guarantee you. The playoffs are so annoying, aren't they? Because it's just like, why haven't they been done before the draw? I'm so glad we haven't got a playoff in our group so we know who we've got. There'll be players. I mean, let's be honest. Let's get real now. There is definitely players fighting for their place in those Uruguay and Japan games. You know, let's be honest. And these aren't going to be games where Thomas Tuchel chucks a B team out or a C team. The only way he does that is if players pull out, because he hasn't got them together. I mean, Calvert-Lewin, I don't know. The problem is that we haven't. Who else is there? I mean, there is Liam Delap, but I'm yet to see anything. I'm not seeing anything from him. Tony, but again, I mean, none of us know what Tony's doing. I know but let's be real. No one's watching him play football at the minute in this country, are there? Well, some maybe, but I'm certainly not. So I don't really know what he's about. It's not a problem. If Calvert-Lewin keeps scoring goals, he will be within a chance of going to the World Cup. Absolutely. Those March friendlies will be hyper competitive for squad selection. You're right. They will. 100%. 100% they will be. I think he'll play his strongest starting 11. I really do. I think I'm freezing again. I don't know why. My internet keeps going from really, really good to really, really poor. I don't know why. The only thing I could put it on is the weather, but it's not that cold, surely. I'm trying to look on live on my own. I'm going to give it a minute until it says I'm excellent again. Let me take off the answer. Good, I'm back on. Brilliant. I'm relying on you guys because I've literally no idea. I think this is delayed. There is a new system on YouTube as well, and I'm not sure there's something here that I need to look at in terms of the way my thing's set up. But anyway, it is really good though to see Ollie Watkins score. I mean, Ollie Watkins is probably clearly the second best striker, isn't he, that we've got at the minute, and he's got to be well within the shout of going. I want Madueke on that left. If anyone's had the opportunity to go and watch my starting 11 video. Realistically, if Thomas Tuchel gets us to the semis, I can't see the FA trying to get someone else in, knowing a home Euros is 2 years away. He will be a good connection with the players. What are we saying? Is a semi-final defeat, like, let's say we go out in a semi-final comfortably beaten, is that good enough? If we go out in a semi-final because of an absolute shambolic referee, but is that something for us to consider? What I'm getting at really is, does it matter how we go out? If we don't win the tournament, does Thomas Tuchel's time in charge of England depend on how we go out of the World Cup? Surely it does, in my opinion. If it's a bit like the Capello scenario, wasn't it? When we got absolutely tranced by France. You know what I mean? We were just battered from start to finish by Germany. Sorry, when we got absolutely hammered. It was just a poor showing all around, and he had to go after. You know what I mean? It wasn't a close game. Germany completely dominated us, and he had to go. If that happens at a World Cup with Tuchel, then he's got to go, hasn't he? Saka's starting on the right though. Saka's our best player after Harry Kane from an attacking perspective. But I love Madueke. I think he's so direct. I know he's not getting the goals and assists for Chelsea, but he certainly does for England. I think he's got to go. And knowing we will be strong favourites going into that tournament, will the FA want to sack and hire someone else and try to rebuild those connections? I mean, there is a gap though, Charlie. There is a big gap between the end of the World Cup and the start of the Euros. You know, that connection can be built within that time frame. If it's a Lee Carsley or something like that, or dare I say, bring old Southgate back. Look, there's a connection that can be built there. There's no doubt. I mean, football fans are very fickle, mate. You can build a connection with a fan base in 3 weeks in one game. You know, get a good result in one game. You'll be an absolute hero. I don't think it did. I hear you, Andrew, but it didn't. We got battered, really. I don't think we were great in that match. Needs to be a penalties defeat to be at least credible, given the manager and quality of depth of squad. I mean, look, I go back. Probably let's talk about something more recent. When I definitely think England played better than France in the quarterfinal when they beat us in the and Harry Kane skies a penalty, or something happens that's out of our control, or a really poor decision. Then you think I'd be more inclined to say, Tuchel, give it another go. But then at the same time, if we get battered, don't we? And he's going to have to go. Yeah, you would argue that you've certainly got more depth, Carol. Definitely. Yeah, I agree. It's definitely going to be a tournament of subs because of the heat. 100%. Oh, I'm buffering again. 2 secs, guys. I'm just going to go and check my internet. I think the weather's really impacting my stream this evening, which is really, really frustrating. Ah. Yeah, but he didn't really miss it against Hugo Lloris, did he? He could have missed it against me because he didn't even hit the target. That was the problem. Looking back on that Germany defeat, though, it doesn't seem to hurt as much as what I believe it. What it probably should. It's a weird one, really. Oh, thank you, Andrew. I mean, obviously the Nations League as well. The draw for the Nations League is later on this year, and that will start after. I mean, it's a tough year. Whoever's in charge at any point in the year, it's going to be a tough year now. I mean, Capello's record suggested he was just as good, if not better, than Tuchel. But obviously, the thing is with Capello, he was at the end of his career, wasn't he? He was taking it solely for the money. He didn't speak a word of English. He'd never lived or worked in England before or in English football. It's a completely... I know the two foreign managers, but Sven was the same. I mean, Sven spoke English, to be honest with you. But Tuchel knows England. He knows English football. He knows English system. He knows English players. He knows English fans. He knows English press. It's a completely different appointment, trophies or not, compared to Capello. Yeah, Capello was massively highly rated. He'd had an amazing career. He'd won more trophies than Tuchel had. In terms of cabinets and trophies and winnings, Capello is a better manager. Even now, if you're looking at that, Capello is a better manager than Thomas Tuchel. But it was the time in which Capello went in and his motivation for going in at that time, and the fact that I don't think he'd even be asked to learn English, could he, when he was in charge? Or I think he learned a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. I think he was worried about Lloris being in his teammate, reading his mind. I know, but at elite level, mate, you've just got to smash it past him, haven't you? I hope England will be in the Group A1 with Germany, Denmark and Czech Republic. I mean, the draw for that is going to be insane, but I just can't wait for the World Cup. It's going to be here so fast. January now seems like it's ages away, but it's going to be here so quickly. We've got those games, I believe, in March, and then as soon as they're done... What are we, 4 months away? The build-up's there. The squads are going to start being announced. Then we start looking at people picking up injuries. Oh, yeah, he was a right troublemaker. He was a proper troublemaker. Yeah, look, Tuchel, even though on paper Tuchel isn't as good as a manager as Capello, he is a better manager and a better fit for England. There's no doubt about that. In complete hindsight, even the FA won't probably disagree that Capello was the wrong manager. They just thought, we just need a manager with all the history. It doesn't matter about anything else, and obviously it didn't work out. Capello's record as a manager is, we can't question it. We cannot question it. Yeah, he was. But at the end of the day, Darry, it was all in it for the money at that point, wasn't it? It did, but I think it was that transition, wasn't it, between this old sort of strict regime. The players rebelled a little bit, didn't they? There's stories about Capello not letting people bring their wives and get. Oh, it was the old England that I don't ever want to go back to. Where Wags dominated it, and it was just. We don't need any of that shit. We haven't had it in years. I don't think Palmer will make it. I'm glad you've said that, Carol, because at the minute, he ain't making it, is he? Cole Palmer in England. He isn't in the England squad. There is talk, or do we think the World Cup squads are standard because of the heat? Do you think they'll allow a few more players? I think they might do. So he may get in. Because I do think there might be some leeway in expanding the World Cup because of the heat and because of the expanded format. But they haven't said anything yet. But I don't know. I've got a funny feeling it might be expanded. So Darius, your Romanian fan will face Israel, Switzerland, and Sweden in Group B2. It'll be a good group, that, mate. Yeah, very good group. I'd argue we should have been a lot better in 2010. Had an amazing record in qualifying. Yeah, and we had players arguably at the peak of their career. Yeah, 100%. Look, let's all be honest now. Every single tournament, as England fans, and I'm going to say this now, every single tournament we go into, I'm like, we've never had a better squad. We've never had a better squad. We've never had a better squad. I guarantee you now we were saying that in 2010. We were saying that we were looking at that squad the same way we're looking at the squad now, saying, look at all the players we've got playing so well for the clubs. We say it all the time. We say it all the time. And it's hard to then get to the reality of, right, is this a good squad? Is it not a good squad? How does it compare to other years? Yeah, I've got a funny feeling 26 might be a goer. I think Tuchel wants to win the World Cup for personal pride, and he knew he was going to be got scrutiny, but I don't think he would have accepted it if he doesn't think we will not get so close. 100%. I think the thing is with Tuchel is, well, from what I understand, it's all bloody hearsay again, I don't think he's got the greatest rep and relationship with the German public, or at least the German press. And I think for him, I mean, it's massive for him, you know, to win the World Cup with England. He's instantly a cultural and iconic hero of England and another country. And I'm sorry, if you win the World Cup, how many managers have won the World Cup and the European Cup? Not many. Yeah, I think, Chris, it's a no-brainer, innit? I think it will happen. There's too much talk and chatter already to say that it won't. So that's going to do him some favours, isn't it? I mean, Thomas Tuchel, this is what I don't like about Thomas Tuchel. He's already started saying things that he might back himself into a corner a little bit, because let's say Rodgers is playing well. Yes, he's not had a good whatever, but Rodgers is playing well. Bellingham, you know, he says he can't pick all these players. Players are going to be left behind, aren't they? Yeah, but at the time, Upson and Lennon weren't classed as that poor. I know they weren't absolutely amazing, but they weren't classed as dreadful, were they? Foden on current form definitely makes it. 3 months ago, that seemed on. I mean, Foden definitely makes it. The only problem is with Foden, what I don't want is Foden and Rashford, because they don't do it for England. We've been here before, where they've been absolutely firing on all cylinders. I'm adamant Foden is a luxury player. He'll only play well if the team around him plays well. He is not a player, and this is what a world-class player is, by the way. He isn't a player where if England are playing poorly, he'll come up with a bit of magic on his own, or he'll grab the game by the scruff of the neck and do something special. I don't think that's Phil Foden. I think Phil Foden is phenomenal when the rest of the team around him is playing well. He's not a player. I'm not bringing Phil Foden off the bench when we're struggling to score against. I'm not. I just don't think Foden got that in him. I remember the advert before with Rooney in making out it would be shameful if they went out early. I think Tuchel loves the England job. I think he does. I'd love it. For me, Gary Tuchel is tactically superior to Cabello and Sven. That's fair enough. This is definitely a good squad. Yeah, no, 100% it's a good squad. 100%. Yeah, I've not seen tonight. I mean, look, Bellingham's a good player. I know everyone's saying, you know, he's struggled or whatever, but he's a good player. He's going to be in the squad. I think the shirt is Rodgers to lose, though. I don't think at the minute, does Bellingham start? He does, mate. And so does Rashford. Yes, in 2014 and 26, England lost to Italy, Uruguay and Iceland because of Roy Hodgson. Oh, I don't know if my internet's gone again. Let me know, guys. Yeah, no, if that's true, Charlie, then fair enough. I mean, the fact that if he has applied for it and England didn't approach him, that speaks volumes in itself. But I have heard that he isn't, appreciated and that well respected in Germany. I do hear that. And he certainly is in England, obviously. Certainly with Chelsea fans, anyway. I mean, I like Thomas Tuchel. I like what he's been about so far. I just want to see him tested. I just want to see Thomas Tuchel tested, and this is why I go back to being a little bit worried about those Uruguay and Japan games. And I just wanted more. I wanted more, really. I mean, a good African team, and Morocco were, with Senegal again, who absolutely destroyed us at the City Ground. Trent's in trouble. Trent's in a world of bother because I don't think he's going. Is Trent going? He ain't going. I mean, when's he out injured till? I don't think he gets on the plane, and I don't think that's a bad thing because he's never really established himself as an England player, has he? If we're being honest, he's never really settled with England. There's been times when he's pulled out of multiple squads. He's not. Just some players just don't suit the national team, and it's a shame, but I just don't think Trent's that player. I just feel like he's never really... You would never, ever really call him a solid senior England international, would you? No worries, Tom. Happy New Year. Hopefully see you on the quiz, mate. You should do a post-March friendly squad predictor video. I will do, mate. Yeah, I will do. I'm going to be doing some preview videos as well of England's group opponents. I'm trying to find, if anyone knows any Ghanaian YouTubers who are Ghanaian football fans, let me know. Because I'm trying to find some of those. But yeah, there's plenty of videos coming between now and March. Don't worry about that, guys. I'm back now. I've just had this couple of weeks off over Christmas. No, I don't think he's going. There'd have to be an injury crisis at right back, or he would have to play phenomenal football to go. Yeah, he just... Something about Trent in England, he's just never fitted. And I'm not saying it's a never thing, but I think this World Cup ain't happening for him. Yeah, I agree, Andrew. I think he is in terms of England, because I don't think... Where does he fit in? He's certainly not... We need a strong defensive right back, because we're too poor at the back. That's certainly not Trent. We don't need him attacking up the right there, because we've got Saka. So we don't... He's not needed, is he? There was a time when we think, does he go into midfield? But then maybe not. The quiz is going to be tomorrow, but it's for channel members only. The quiz, well, potentially tomorrow. I'm waiting for my channel. I've put a post out on my community page for channel members to answer when they can make it. But I've had to limit it to channel members because I've got a limit in terms of how many people can actually join it, and I feel like internets and everything like that might. I think last year there was just about the right amount of people, but I've got like 9 or 10 members now, and I didn't want it to be in a position where channel members were trying to join and they couldn't actually join the quiz, so I've just limited it to them to now. Get Tyon from AFTV knows everything about African football. I'll drop her a line then. Yeah, I just can't find a Ghanaian international fan, but I will find some. It'll happen. I'm so glad we haven't got a playoff team. It's such a... I remember the last World Cup when we was umming and ahhing about who he was going to be for months. It's such a nightmare. It's so good that we can just crack on with, figuring out how we're going to play, who we're going to play. You look at the group and you just think, what? There's no worry there. I mean, people I've literally seen, and me included, I was umming and ahhing thinking, is this group a tough one? If we don't walk this group, well, if we don't walk it, then we ain't winning the World Cup. We've got no chance of winning the World Cup. Let me load it up and get it put on here. I've done my own graphic for it. Oh, hang on, not that big. Image. Voodoo. There we go. So much easier you can do when you've made your own graphics. No, I didn't mean we were poor at the back, but I mean we're not solid enough though to have a completely absent-minded right back. Is probably what I'm saying. I don't think we're poor at the back. You're absolutely right, Andrew. Thanks for correcting me on that, because I don't think we are. I think Gay and Konza are really good. I think our fullbacks are good. I think we still can't afford though for a Trent to go missing at right back. I think Tuchel has already signed a new contract because he was asked about staying. He said have nothing to announce at the moment, which is interesting, and him and the FA are happy. If we need a decisive pass, his passing is unreal. I get that, but there's plenty of other passes in this team. I don't think they will, Carol, because they've not even qualified. They've not qualified for the African Cup of Nations. What are they, ranked 70 odd in the world now, below Panama? I don't think this is a tough group. I think we're over worrying about it. I thought it was a tough group. When I first saw it, I thought, this is a tough group. But the more I'm thinking about it, I don't think this is a tough group at all. I don't think this is a tough group. I really don't. I really, really don't. At the minute, I would say I'm a Tuchel in. I'm not saying we're not at that point where we're saying Tuchel in, Tuchel out, but I would be happy if Tuchel stayed on at the minute. But I mean, if the FA's offered him a new contract before the World Cup, then that's absolutely madness, in my opinion. But looking at this World Cup group now, I just can't see anything other than 3 wins for England. I really can't. I really, really can't. Yeah, I mean, look, getting a positive result in your opening game is going to be key. We've got England, then Ghana, then I think Panama's the last game. So it's in that order. So we've got Croatia, Ghana, then Panama. It goes in that order. So if you lose any opening game of a tournament, you're right up against it. Having said that, though, you've got to remember the top 3 potentially go through from this. So if we win one game by a good enough margin and pick up a draw, you're more or less guaranteed to go through. Not guaranteed, but you're more or less. I'm looking at Croatia and think Croatia aren't easy. Let's get real on that. Croatia are going to be good. Semenyo, yeah, is a good player, but we've played teams before who's had a really good individual player, but it depends how everyone else is around them, doesn't it? You know what I mean? If Kane was in, I don't know, if Kane was playing for another team and didn't have the service, he wouldn't be a threat, would he? But look, Semenyo's a great player. He is a great player, but how many Semenyos have England got? It is one of the hardest groups we could have got, but I think because of the expanded tournament, I don't think that says a lot, 3 Lions. I really don't. We've already seen groups of death. They don't really exist anymore because it's an expanded World Cup, because this team's literally there making up the numbers. I'm not worried. I genuinely think we could have... It's not a hard group, that. We've certainly had a hell of a lot harder. We've had way harder in past World Cups. I mean, looking back at the last World Cup, who did we have? We had Iran, USA and Wales. I think that's harder than that. I think that was a harder World Cup group than that. I think the USA and Wales are better than Panama and Ghana at that time. I don't think the group's tough. I'm not saying it's easy, but I don't think it's this like sort of really challenging, difficult group. England should be cruising past this group. I mean, whether we think it's hard or not, if we are the team we think we are and we have ambitions to win this tournament, we should be cruising through that group, whether we think it's tough or not. Charlie, I bloody hope so, mate. I mean, the problem is, I mean, I don't know how old you are, Charlie, but I keep forgetting, but I've been here before where I've thought it's all year all the time. Yeah, I think that group, Darius, USA, Iran and Wales, is a tougher group than this Group L we've got here. I really do. I really, really do. I'd be... yeah, 7 points. I mean, we should beat Croatia. A draw against Croatia wouldn't be bad. It's opening game and all that lot, but we should beat them. We certainly shouldn't lose to them. And I think that's the key. There's no one in here I'm thinking we should lose against. Yeah, that's certainly a tougher group. I don't think this is a... Okay, yeah. I'm not bothered about the other teams in our group. I watch your pod. Yeah, it's. I'm happy with this group. I'm really happy with this group. And at the time, I think the one team I was really wanted us to avoid in that pot four was Ghana. But the more I've been reading about them and looking at where they've been at in recent years, and I ain't worried about them. You know, no one can genuinely sit here and tell me that they're worried about facing a Ghana who haven't even qualified for AFCON. Do you know what I mean? Put it into some perspective. Because that's them being judged against competitive games that they've got. And come on, I ain't worried about that. I ain't worried about that. We should top that group. We should top it. Is it a good thing we're playing Croatia first, or is that worse? Would it have been better to play, Panama, Ghana, or Ghana and Panama first, and Croatia was the last game? It is. It is the highest. Because I covered that in my video, Chris. Actually, it is on paper. It is the toughest group England could have potentially drawn almost out of those pots, and it's the highest ranked FIFA World Cup group in the World Cup as well. But I mean, the FIFA World rankings are half decent up to a point, aren't they? They give a rough ballpark figure, but how you can predict how that USA are 14th, 13th when they're playing Mexico, bloody Panama and all this like every single week, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Compared to a Switzerland or a Denmark. So it loses its value at some point, the FIFA World Rankings, but it's a pretty good ballpark in terms of where teams are at. For a pot four team, yeah, I'd agree they were one of the hardest, but surely we're not worrying about facing them. If it was Southgate, you'd worry about this group. If this was Southgate, right, he'd be playing for a draw in that opening game. I mean, we say this, right? We've got to remember, under Gareth Southgate, England did start a tournament against Croatia in the group stage at the Euros, and we won 1-0, if you remember. And we played better than them. We were the better team, convincingly, throughout the whole 90 minutes. 1-0 flattered Croatia, I think. So, yeah, look, I'm not worried. I think that USA group, Paraguay, Australia, and that playoff. Look, knowing the US, I think that's a more evenly balanced group than England's. I mean, I'm looking at that. I'm just looking at the group there. I'm looking at Paraguay, Australia, and Turkey, Slovakia. Turkey, Slovakia, or Romania, I would say, are better than Panama or Ghana. But this is what I mean, Charlie. Absolutely right, mate. I think people are slightly. I mean, I might be underestimating Ghana here, but I think people are overestimating Ghana. Is that right, Three? I mean, that's what it should. No matter what happens, whoever wins the World Cup should be ranked number one. We've never been world number one, ever. Happy New Year, Panther. Hope you're well, mate. I've had some issues this afternoon with my internet, but it seems like you've joined us at a good time. I predicted England Croatia draw. I do keep forgetting that. I am going to remind everyone again. We have opened in recent history a tournament against Croatia and we beat them under Gareth Southgate. And all I've had on the chat tonight is people saying how much better Tuchel is than Gareth Southgate, how much better this squad is than what Gareth Southgate or what we've had previously. We can't all be saying that and then looking at this group and thinking it's a tough group. Toughest group is France's, I think. I think that's the toughest group. I can't remember off the top of my head the full groups, but I'm pretty sure France's group was the toughest. Yeah, so they've got Senegal, Norway, and then a playoff winner. That's the toughest group. Senegal and Norway are tougher than any team England have got. Tunisia, I think that's a relatively easy group. I'm looking at the other groups and they're absolute. Group C, I think Group C is quite an interesting group, which is Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, and Scotland. I think that's a trickier group than what people are probably considering for everyone. I think we may actually beat Croatia by a big scoreline to put our mark down and show we are here to win. 1966, 1970. What do you mean, 3 lines? I know number one in the world. I don't think we were we? I'm pretty sure I've looked back. I don't think. Double check. I might be wrong there. But I'm pretty sure England have never been ranked officially world number one. I could be wrong, but I don't think we have. I don't think our FIFA, we're certainly under the current system, our FIFA world ranking has never been number one. I'm pretty certain of that. I think we've been like the highest of 3 or 2. Yeah, Norway, France, Senegal is it, regardless of who that fourth team is. That's a tougher group than England's. Not according to FIFA world rankings, but it certainly is in my opinion. I know, Reed. Can't wait, mate. Honestly, can't wait. 4-0 England versus Croatia. I mean, how good would that be? If we win the opening game, we're through, aren't we? That's got to be the motivation, and we're not going there. We've spoke about under Southgate, playing for draws and all this lot. Surely we want to go there and put a marker down and win that opening game. Yeah, that is Group I is definitely the group of death if you're going to have one. Yeah, it's a much tougher game. I mean, Senegal absolutely battered us, didn't they, at the City Ground? I'm not sure we was 3 Lions. I'm not sure we was. Have a look. Have a look. Let me have a look. I'm pretty sure what I did on this. No, we haven't. We've never been world number one. Not under FIFA rankings, because they didn't start until 1992, 93, I don't think. And our highest ranking has been... Oh, the ELO? Well, that's a different ranking, isn't it? Sorry, I think we might be talking about 2 different things. Yeah, no, I think we are talking about 2 different things then. 3 Lions. The ELO is different, isn't it? Yeah, we've never been. That's why I'm talking. We've never been ranked number one from a FIFA World Rankings perspective. Group I is just like in 2002. France, Norway equals Denmark, Senegal. If they qualify, Uruguay. It's the toughest. I think that's the toughest group. I mean, this is the problem, and I'm also thinking because it's an expanded World Cup. I don't think I think this is because one of the criticisms if you haven't watched it, by the way, go and watch it. My World Cup prediction video. But one of the criticisms I had is that I didn't pick any surprises or shocks or anything like that. But I don't think any apart from the hosts, who I would argue probably aren't favourites for their World Cup groups anyway. Apart from the hosts, I don't think any top seed here is going to fail to qualify from the group. I think all the top seeds will qualify. All pot ones will qualify in first place from their groups. Well, hopefully Panther. If it goes by FIFA World Rankings, we can't play Argentina in the final. It's only if we top our group, that is. Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. But a lot of people don't know about it or refer to the ELO, do they? Most people know the FIFA World Rankings, but yeah, no, it's fair enough. Yeah, I can believe that. Yeah, we were talking about 2 different things there. I don't think this is going to be a World Cup of shocks. I really don't, because I think there's a real gap here. A real gap in quality. There's teams here, quite frankly, that would be nowhere near a World Cup. And shouldn't be anywhere near a World Cup in times gone past. And there's still more to fill those spaces. Oh, God, Reed. It'd be chaos, wouldn't it? I mean, I've always thought about this. I don't know what I would actually do. Like, what would we do? I mean, I think the sod's law is that the World Cup final will probably be on a Sunday night, won't it? I've not had a look at the fixturings and stuff for the final, but we'll probably all have work. Or school in about 7 hours' time. There's always a shock or 2, even if top sides go into 3rd place. Yeah, I can't see many happening. I'm looking at these groups and thinking, who's Brazil's group? Maybe. I'm not talking about the hosts again. I'm not going about the hosts, but maybe Brazil. France, but again, Senegal or Norway picking a result up against France isn't exactly a shock, is it? I don't know. I can't see any huge shocks. I mean, if any hate it, it should be absolutely bouncing off the walls, because if any team, if they were going to get a point or score a goal against any team, it was going to be Scotland. Because if any team can go there and cock it up from the start, it'll be them. Sunday, July 19th at 8 p.m. is the that's what I mean. So we'll all have school and work, won't we, within several hours' time. 6 years of wait is coming to an end. I feel very positive. I've seen all of those in high since Spain 82, plus looking back beyond that also. Scotland group is just like in 1998 with Morocco and Brazil, but except Norway because they got Haiti. We always say that then Germany, for example, got grouped at the last 2 World Cups. I know, but it's a different World Cup again, mate, because like I said, you can finish in the top 3 and go through. I just can't see it happening, mate. I can't. I'm gonna lay it down now. No top seed is going out in the group stage. They might finish second, they might finish third, but no top team is going out in the group stage. I don't think anyone's getting grouped who you wouldn't expect to qualify. Who you would expect to qualify. They're on about expanding it again, aren't they? For the next one. I don't think any top seed is getting grouped at this World Cup. None. I've said that now. And as an England fan, that means we're getting grouped. It would be like, honestly, come on. I mean, it's weird, isn't it, with Scotland? Because like, I'll be honest, I'm going to say something now. When I was younger, if I watched Scotland or Ireland or anything like that on the telly, when I was younger, my natural instinct was to support them. Because I saw friends, family who had Scottish links, or even just, the UK is a weird place. There's no other place like it where it's like one country but then different countries, and it's such a weird place. But by default, it just felt like you would, growing up, that's what you did, because the commentators were doing it as well, and you just felt like, yeah, you cheer them on. But as you get older, you realise the reason why I don't is because they hate us. You know what I mean? Otherwise, I'd be like, come on, Scotland, give it your best shot. But Scotland hate us, absolutely hate us, and it's definitely the other way round. So I think sod them. I hope they get battered. YouTube just banned my comment. I was going to say, what did you say, Charlie? But then you can't tell me, can you? Because the comment would be banned. Scotland should go through as a third place team. They are so good with Scotland now. I mean, he's a good player. I agree with that. I don't think they will, Chris Bayliss. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I do hope I'm wrong. I'm not saying this is like as a criticism. I genuinely hope we get those sort of mad nights and stuff like that where a top team gets beaten by someone who you wouldn't expect and stuff like that. But I just can't see it happening. I don't think any single top team is getting grouped. I think I saw... Oh, no, right, yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't think they'd have any choice, mate. In fact, no, they wouldn't be able to call a bank holiday within 3 hours, would they? I could see Morocco's first again in Group C. Scotland and Wales will never get my support. Yep, South America are pushing for 64 teams at 20. It'll happen, mate. We all say it's pure, but it'll 100% happen. And then get ready. There'll never be... I think we're going to struggle to ever see a World Cup now hosted by one country. Apart from the Arab states, obviously, Saudi Arabia, all them lot will just pay out the nose and, backhanders and all that lot talk. But any European team will have to go in with 3 other nations just to get FIFA and UEFA to back it. Anyway, I'm coming up to the hour. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm afraid I've got to get ready for work, and obviously everyone's got to get ready for school, work, whatever you're doing. Thank you all so much for your patience over Christmas. Thank you for your support over Christmas as well. Like I said, December was by far my most successful month on YouTube, quite frankly. So thank you all so much for your support. For my channel members, you've got the quiz to come. So I'll have a look in terms of what you guys have said in terms of the best time. I am planning tomorrow, so let's hopefully see you then. But if not, maybe Tuesday or something like that. But I will let you know. Keep your eye out for videos that will be coming. Plenty of things to come through over the next few weeks now. But final thing to say is Happy New Year. And I hope you all have a fantastic 2026. And I hope as England fans, we're all sat here in 7 months' time as World Cup champions. And if you're not an England fan in this chat, then if your team's in the World Cup, I hope they have the great World Cup, except when they come up against us. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Happy New Year to you all. Hope you all have a good week.